That's good. Again, happy for our guys to come back, get a good win. Last week was a pretty tough, a lot of effort and emotionally. Those guys have been working really, really hard, and we talked about making strides and showing if we can make strides again, coming off some adversity when it was really, really tough. We've lost some games, but that was a tough one. So we talked about trying to build our team and getting stronger and showing improvement. I think the way they handled themselves, and I think the way our coaches coached this week was a positive sign for where we're trying to go and what's going to keep coming short once in a while. A lot of credit there to Illinois, the way they kind of started pretty good. And I thought at halftime we'd settled down. I really thought we'd come out and really start well. And third quarter didn't start well at all. We go 3 and out. They score. We throw an interception, I believe, and they score. I think that's right. And it's like, hey, we're going to come out and got all the momentum, and we're going to really get a couple scores up and really get rolling. They took it to us. Again, I think it shows another positive sign of gaining on it. That, like last week, we weathered it, settled down, kind of came through that, had a couple good drives, made a couple good plays, finished strong. Defense finished strong with a couple stops. And I think the last thing I'd like to just compliment our guys on, we got not major, but just a few guys nicked up. And Tevin got an ankle sprain there at the end. How serious, I don't know. Back-to-back 100-yard games for him. Back-to-back 100-yard games for Stephen Houston, which is nice. But you got a new center, Colin Warner, gets a slight back injury. And just was kind of gimpy and couldn't practice much this week, so we played Wes Rogers. Flo Harden took a shot in the chest last week, kind of got a rib injury, and got Clyde Newton as a redshirt freshman, true freshman. Heeman and Murph went down, Timmy Bennett went down, and some guys stepped in and fought and battled. David Kinney made a few plays out there running around, and Darius and some of those young guys. So I think defense still got ways to go, but those young guys keep fighting. This team keeps fighting. And it's nice to get a win. We got still a lot of stuff to gain on, and we got a phenomenal challenge next week traveling to Wisconsin.
How do you assess the defense's play with all those injuries, especially down the stretch in the fourth quarter, getting those stops and that late pick? How do you assess the defense?
We busted, a couple things. We busted coverage and give them an easy score, and had some missed tackles. We were there, missed tackles, but when they kind of settled down and we got into a rhythm at the end, they played pretty solid. So, we haven't been consistent enough with our performance and execution and assignments or fundamentals, or you name it, to play really good all the time. We flash and nice stop, good play. Today is a little bit more consistent. The only thing we've talked about, like last week, there was a period where we played really, really good as a total team. And we talked about trying to increase the time. When the defense plays well, offense come out with some energy and go score. When the offense scores, defense play with some energy, get it back, try to feed off each other a little bit more instead of being one side hot, one side cold. So it's never going to be perfect. It's never going to be a complete game, but appreciate the way those kids fought. We still missed some stuff. We got a long way to go. We got to keep working there, but the offense does too.
How happy were you with this running game? 371 yards. What worked so well?
Good. And guys, the first game probably that we really kind of got. We weren't great on third downs, but he converted 2 fourth downs. Of course, I think they count those couple at the end of the games where you're really trying to run the clock out before the first half. It's a third down 9 conversion, so it shows how stats can be skewed. So I think technically we ended up 6 of 9 in conversions. So we didn't have a lot of good first and second down plays, which was good. It's probably the first game we got Trey and Nate kind of playing and in and out a little, where it's kind of been you're kind of in, or you're kind of in, or you're kind of hot, or you're kind of not. It's the first game we've had those guys kind of flowing a little bit, and I think it's because again we were able to keep some drives alive and extend some drives and get some plays. So, that being said, I think Trey's play helped that a little bit. The line's getting better. We got three starting linemen out: the right tackle, right guard, and right center, and a bunch of yards for our team. So I think it says a lot about the depth. Year 3, we got Wes Rogers here for a couple years now. Jacob Bailey a couple years. Bernard Daly 3. We're just our strength program. We're not perfect, but we're just getting more depth, and that's where we're not there on defense yet. And that's why I still think it takes some time in our recruiting development, because our offense can withstand is getting now strong enough to withstand some hits, because we're not perfect now. We got some guys out, but some guys can step up. Defensively, we're not there yet. So I think the offensive performance in the run game shows, as much as anything, playing those freshmen 3 years ago and guys maturing, and there's a little bit more maturity on offense.
Can you talk about the drive that you're trailing 28-21 and you decide to go for it on 4th and 1 at your own 34? You must have had a lot of confidence in your running game at that point.
I don't know about that as much as I just thought they had scored back-to-back and we couldn't give it to them. And it wasn't a pretty play either. So, great effort by Trey. So that's one of those little one-yard plays. It's probably a lot of value to that game because, you know, our guys have weathered some storms, but that could have been, you know, a pretty big play there. So, you know, we're not a phenomenal, overpowering team, even though we ran the ball okay. I think our spread and our pass sets up the run. And that's, in a perfect world, what you're trying to get to. When you watch some of these teams, you know, watching Baylor play the other night, I mean, they're 13-26 throwing, but they line up because, again, they're, you know, the sprint game is spacing out, now the run game can go. So, in a perfect world, you know, we're not there, but we're getting there, and that was a huge play. When you're talking about Terry, that was a big play.
Coach, another really good game from Cody Latimer, a receiver. Just kind of talk about his development and how he's been playing the last several weeks.
Yeah, and again, sometimes we're doing mirrored things. I think the guy maybe gave him a little bit more cushion, so we hit him on some underneath and some short things, and then they pressed him up. He did make the one big play at the top. I think the one really good drive, we came out and kind of popped the run, popped the fast one, and hit him on a fast shot and made a nice play on a post play there. So, quality player. I think he's got a chance to be a great player. Because if we can do this thing right and keep developing him, I think he can be a top-notch guy. And I think, you know, and I'm talking about moving on, you know, from here to the next deal. And so I'm excited. He's a third-year guy and what he brings. But I'm really excited about the potential to see how far we can take him because I think he can be a lights-out kind of guy.
How good is
What
the
about
connection
the
between him
Nate?
and Nate right now? I mean, just they really kind of get each other right now.
Yeah, but I think Nate's the same with, you know, he overshot Kofi on a fade ball with the wind. He just kind of overthrew it. I think, you know, I think Nate was 15 to 19 and a half, except for the one throw. And he just kind of messed up on the one throw that he threw a pick on. I think Nate and Trey would say they got a pretty good feel with all of them. I mean, nothing like, hey, he and Cody are that much more in sync. We do, again, year-round, a lot of routes on air, a lot of one-on-one timing, get a feel for each other. And I think it's, again, a credit to year 2 and year 3 of throwing those balls over and over in rhythm and time and where to put it and the trust factor.
Coach, it looked like Nate handled that pick reasonably well. And then he came back. He came back and looked pretty unfazed and threw a couple of touchdowns after that. Did you like how he handled?
We talked about it. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, and I just, you know, I said, what were you thinking? Well, I said, okay, I don't like that thought. But let's go back. I said, we're going to come back. We're going to make some plays. We're going to win this game. Let's go. So appreciate the way he came back because, again, those next 2 drives really got us going because we kind of came up first 2 and really laid an egg as an offense. Defense busted a couple. After that, we weathered the storm. We got in good rhythm. We played decent football.
Let's talk about the explosiveness of Tevin. He had the big run early at the
I think I saw somebody shared it. I think Kick shared a stat. He was leading the country in touchdown runs of over 40 yards. And when you said 2 he's got some explosiveness, but you guys don't see him. And we ought to do it. And also show you Cody and Kofi blocking guys out of bounds on the perimeter when those guys go. And there's always, you know, I think also too, sometimes because we hit those pass shots, they start playing some man-to-man coverage. And if you play man coverage, you don't have good run support. If you play zone coverage, you need the timing to hit spaces and spots and get your pass game going. So, again, be some great challenges these next 2 weeks of Wisconsin, Ohio State, and Purdue down the stretch. So, again, you know, my saying on offense is when you think you got it, you're getting ready to get it. And we never got it. We're just kind of fighting to keep building, keep bringing it. We got to keep bringing the defense along.
Was Kofi healthy? Was Kofi healthy today? He was not as involved.
Yeah.
Sometimes he wasn't out there a bunch, and I didn't know if there was anything going on.
Yeah, no, he's good.
He's all right.
And, I mean, senior, and again, as much as anything, Ben is positive, is vocal, as anyone. Again, a lot of those plays we're doing, it's mirrored. It's, you know, out routes, hitch routes, go routes, same on each side, and you're kind of picking rotations and leverages in space. And, you know, not every play, but there's a lot of plays where, it's the baker's choice. He can choose his sides, and today they just got to the other guy's side, but then there's nothing on him. He's really good.
When it was
You mentioned
35-35, Coach, what were you able to capitalize on offense to score the last 17 points against their defense, and what did your defense do to shut them out the rest of the way?
Well, we popped the long run, which was big. They actually had a good drive going, and I think they helped us one time after the first time. They did a tempo go ball, didn't hit it, and they got behind chains. And I thought our pass rush, I thought our D lineman played with a little bit more vigor, effort, flying around. I thought David Kinney and Derek, for most he had played in a while. Zach Shaw was in there harassing those guys. So I thought that, you know, my opinion was the defensive line really did better. and our O-line, because the running game really took off. I thought in the fourth quarter, both our lines were better in this game than Illinois, which is good for us.
Two more questions. You mentioned the injuries at the top. I guess guys getting nicked up. I mean, from what happened today, who's got what? Has anybody got, Bennett or anybody like that have a?
I guess he got hit, so I'm assuming, shouldn't say that. I guess it's head-related concussion deal, we'll see. So that's just.
Is that Bennett or Heben?
That's
Bennett.
Bennett. I think he even got rolled up, got an ankle or something.
And
Murphy went down, both of them came back. Tevin got rolled up, had an ankle sprain, you know, and so.
How big was it that Murphy was able to come back after being taken off the field?
Well, our thing, and that's a great question too, because we were watching them, and sometimes you like the older guys, you trust them, but I kept matter of fact, we kept Heben on the field, won't play too long, because he was actually hurt, and they busted, and he missed a tackle on the play that took him down. We should have got him out of play earlier when he got hurt, and before we put Brandon Gruby in there. So, and sometimes you kind of want to go with your guys. To me, the more we play Clyde Newton, Marcus Oliver, Latham, Kenny, Antonio's out, but the more those guys keep playing, and the better they're going to be. And it was good to get Murphy back, but our deal was, they need to be ready to play. Ryan Thompson made a couple competitive plays. I thought Michael Hunter showed up and was a little bit more competitive and more physical today.
But Murphy being able to come back and then get the pick late.
Yeah, but he got floated the ball. I think I might have could have got that one. I mean, nothing against Murphy. He played a phenomenal game last week. Best game he did. And again, and that's what, he's a vet guy. I mean, with Antonio Allen out, those guys need to pick it up. So again, I will say this: we're not there, long way to go. But year 3, we're making some strides, and you can see it because more guys are stepping up. And it's not a perfect product, and it's a long way off, but we're getting stronger. And we'll keep pushing this week and get ready to go to Wisconsin. Thanks.
Players in the waiver,